I was 7 years old, lying in a hospital bed. The room smelled like medicine and fear. I couldn't feel my legs anymore. I didn't understand the words the doctors were saying. I didn't understand paralysis. All I understood was this. When I tried to move, my legs didn't listen. They were there, but they were gone. I was already used to hospitals quite alright. Used to pain, used to injections, used to the poking. But one day, a nurse made a mistake. An overdose. And just like that, my legs went numb. The doctors tried everything they knew. Nothing worked. One day, our family doctor looked at my mother and said, "Madam, you may need to get a wheelchair for your daughter." He said there was nothing else they could do. My mother refused. She shouted back through tears, "My daughter will walk out of this hospital." She had already lost one child. She was not ready to lose another, beaten down by sickness. We stayed in the hospital longer, even after being discharged clinically. There was a song my mother and I used to sing every time I was admitted. She held me, rocked me, and sang through her pain. I could feel her heart beating while she tried to hold mine together. Now, every morning, my mother went home to cook for me. And every time she left, I tried to stand. I wasn't going to stay confined to a bed or a wheelchair for life. I wasn't going to live my life dependent on others for movement. Life was already hard. I wasn't ready to have it harder. So I held on to the bed, my legs shaking, sweat pouring down my body. I fell. I tried. I fell again and again. But something in me refused to stay down. So one day, our family doctor came around to see I and my mom, probably to convince her to take me home in a wheelchair. So while he was talking to her and explaining to her that nothing could be done about the situation and that my legs were numb, as he said that, he tapped my leg with his pen and I flinched. He froze. He tapped it again. "Did you feel that?" he asked me. I said yes. And in that moment, everything changed. So he immediately called the physiotherapist to check me out. And I started physiotherapy that same day. This was my first miracle as a 7-year-old. And it was at this point of my life I realized God answers prayers. Slowly, painfully, I found my legs again. And just like my mother said, I walked out of the hospital. Glory to God. That was my first miracle. That was my first encounter with God. At 7 years old, I learned something that carries me till today. Doctors have knowledge. Medicine has limits. But hope is stubborn. And so am I.